Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about another Rolex Air-King. Today we will be discussing the reference 14,000 Air-King, which is considered today to be basically a classic Rolex. You know, I'm a car guy, so to me it's not classic until it's 25 years old, but and this particular watch I think is from 2002 or 2003. But the model itself is certainly classic because it came out in 1989. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to open up the eBay box because we don't have a genuine Rolex box and papers for this one, but who cares? It's just a box. So here we have the Rolex Air-King reference 14,000. Let's check that out. This was lent to me by a friend of mine. So I'm excited to be reviewing it, and I appreciate it very much that he lent this to me and trusted me with his watch. But here we have it, the Rolex Air-King reference 14,000. These are really neat because this is still a conservative Air-King model. When the Air-King first came out in 1945, Rolex had started the airline, no pun intended, of their watches as a tribute to the British Royal Air Forces. And they started that in 1945. At that time, they had the Air King, the Air Lion, the Air Tiger, and the Air Giant. The one that stood the test of time and is still being produced today is, of course, the Air King. And like I was saying, this particular reference is really cool because this was the last of the really conservative, elegant, so to speak, Air-Kings. There are no numbers on the dial. It is just your typical, very conservative, again, timepiece. It was after this reference that Rolex started to add the 3, 6, and 9. And then after that, they added a whole bunch of numbers and then got rid of that and blah, 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 blah. But this one is kind of coveted now from collectors because of that simplicity of it. It's still not a entry-level Rolex, like I always say, because the Oyster Perpetual is. But this is very similar to an Oyster Perpetual. To the untrained eye, you may think this is an Oyster Perpetual until you see that vintage Air-King insignia that we still see today. This one also says Precision right above the 6. This is a very timeless piece. You have the silver dial, stainless steel, of course. It's a gorgeous watch. It's a simple watch. It's 34 millimeter, which by today's standards is small. I'll go ahead and put this on my wrist so you can see. I have kind of a big wrist, and you've seen my other Air-King on there, which is a 40 millimeter. This is a 34. For me, it's probably a little bit small, but I still wouldn't mind wearing it. I would still wear this out. I think this is about as small as I can go. 34. And this is a nice watch also for women even. You know, a 34 millimeter can very much fit a woman these days. So this is a cool watch because it's almost unisex. It can look good on a man or a woman, and especially a man with a little bit smaller wrist. But again, I think it would even work on me. This particular reference, again, is the 14,000. It first came out in 1989, and they produced it up until, I think, the mid-2000s. And this particular one is like a 2002 or 2003. A cool fact about this watch is this reference is right when Rolex started to produce Luminova as their lume. Before this, they were still using radium and tritium, which both were radioactive. A lot of people don't know that. The earlier Rolex lume was actually radioactive. And this was the first Air-King to have Luminova. And Luminova, by today's standards, is now, vintage because it's no longer produced. Now Rolex does Chromolite, which glows blue, but this apparently in Luminova glows green. I haven't tested it. I haven't seen it at night. I'm not sure if the lume still works. Lume does wear out over time, especially these older styles of lume. But if it does work, it glows green, which is pretty cool. So yeah, here's your first non-radioactive Air-King. The original MSRP on these, don't quote me on this because I'm not sure if I found accurate information online, but I believe these were about $2,700 when they were brand new. Again, don't quote me on that, but that's what I found. Nowadays, you can pick up this reference for about $3,000 to $5,000, depending on condition. This particular one, I would say, is in good condition for its year. Again, I think this is a 2002 or 2003, and it's good. It doesn't have a whole lot of bracelet flex. It's got some, but just enough to make it extra comfortable. It's got scratches, but that Rolexes are meant to be worn. I don't care how expensive your Rolex is. I'm a firm believer in wearing them. This was also the first Air-King to have a sapphire crystal, to have scratch resistance and provide more clarity on the dial. Not a whole lot to say about these. It's a beautiful watch. I think this is a great beginner's Rolex, especially if you don't have the budget to purchase a new one. Even an Oyster Perpetual, which are like $6,100, I think, new. This is a great way to get into Rolexes because it's a little bit of a step up from the OP, as you've heard me talk about before. Air-Kings are not entry-level Rolexes. So it's a great way to get started because you're getting started a little bit ahead of the game. You're not wearing an entry-level Rolex if you get this. And you can get them for cheap. Like I said, $3,000 to $5,000, and you have yourself a beautiful and very storied Rolex. We all know that the Air-King is very storied. Again, first started in 1945, and they're still making it today. So really a testament to its desirability and longevity. Yeah, not a whole lot to say. This one still has the green sticker on the back, which is pretty cool. You have your Rolex crown there on the clasp, and it's just a nice piece. Apparently collectors are really liking these too because, like I was talking about, it's not an entry-level Rolex, but it still flies under the radar. You don't have a full gold day date on. That's something that's not gonna. This is something that's not going to attract a ton of attention, but you still have a Rolex and a very fine watch on your wrist. So, guys, thanks for watching this video on the Rolex Air-King reference 14,000. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have one. And guys, like I always say in my videos, please give me a subscribe. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers. I'd really appreciate it. Give me a like, a comment. Let's have a discussion about this. Let's see what you all think. I love talking watches and talking cars, so I look forward to hearing from you guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be back with you guys again a week from today with another cool video. Who knows what? Only time will tell. But thanks a lot for watching, guys. Appreciate it, and talk to you next week.